Rokani Media Football, it is full-time at the Emirates. As I predicted, though I called in for a 3-1 win for the club of Arsenal because I thought that maybe the team known as Nottingham would go at least once at the goal of Arsenal to shock them, but never did they obviously see any of their shots at the goal of Arsenal cross the line, as they really had only one shot on target. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel. The name of Zubimendi is obviously gonna be echoed a lot into this video. Trossard and a player known as Gyokeres, and the other player that we are obviously going to be echoing a lot goes by the names of Leandro Trossard and Ebelechi Eze. So smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is in here to obviously break down this game of football. I was like, should I obviously stream live? I was like, not really, no reason for me to come and stream live. I think we really have to record something for like 15-20 minutes for you, the viewers of this channel, and then I'll premiere it. Then you guys will obviously have your say about this particular win of Arsenal into this particular game of football altogether. Arsenal went into this game of football when we really saw the manager really benching Declan Rice, and he started Mikel Merino. And looks like the manager of Arsenal is like trying to show that now I do really have your roles and you are now fighting for the position. You know, he's like sending a message to Declan Rice that you and Mikel Merino are obviously going to be fighting for the number 8 position. That is it. Odegaard and Zubimendi are going to be fighting for the CDM position. Ethan Nwaneri, when Odegaard went ahead to get injured, you saw to it that he came in through. We're obviously going to be throwing a huge light about it. And he's like sending a message that Ethan Nwaneri and Martin Odegaard are really going to be number 10s. Trossard, Martinelli, and Eze left forwards. You understand? So he's trying to obviously really put it out and stipulate it well to the players in there. But this game of football started on at a very high pressure, and Arsenal were like looking for that opening goal. They really had very many shots at goal, but it was through a set piece that was delivered by Noni Madueke, headed into space or headed outside towards the 18 yards box area. That is the D, and Zubimendi went ahead to obviously hit it hard, and it went into the back of the net. I can tell you, he hit that ball with precision, or with sheer precision, and he really saw that ball cross the line, and he broke that dreadlock because Nottingham Forest never had the lion's share of the ball. They were neither threatening, and they were like, we are obviously going to be defending, but they could obviously do some bit of passes and pass patterns for like 2, 3, 4, 5 passes. Then Arsenal could intercept and really win it, and then go ahead to create chances. But they hadn't obviously gone ahead to find themselves really creating a chance that could result into a goal. But in this particular aspect, Zubimendi went ahead to break the dreadlock in the 32nd minute. That was really great. I tell you, that Zubimendi hit, you know, has obviously taken me to what we call the Paul Scholes days. And I'm like, Arsenal have gone ahead to add another player who can come in through and really create a moment of magic. I tell you, because if you look at that hit of Martin Zubimendi, it reminds me of Steven Gerrard and Paul Scholes, meaning that Arsenal have been scoring these set pieces while in the 6 yards box area of the opponent. Now, they've gone ahead to bring in another player who can obviously be around the D and obviously discipline the opponent. As you see him there, that is the player you're talking about, Martin Zubimendi. Look at this. Look at what he did. You understand? This was the area where he was, you know, and how many times have you seen Arsenal really score rebounders, you know, from the set piece deliveries in that area? You know, players have always gone ahead to stand there, but they've not obviously gone ahead to be very accurate onto their shots. You know, their shot power is not bad, but the direction they really give to that ball has been lacking. And that's what Martin Zubimendi has obviously gone ahead to bring onto this side of Arsenal. And there he comes to obviously put in that shift that everyone really needed at the club of Arsenal. And if you're an Arsenal fan, you have to obviously be excited about this lad, because he is really making things look like they are really having more options for the club of Arsenal. Arsenal never really had these options before, you understand? But it takes me to what I told people, that Arsenal are really a better side than, Zubimendi was a better player, or is a better player than Partey. Though some people never understood it at first, but I think with time, they'll obviously have to understand that what I told them was really the right thing. Though some people believe that I'm really having an agenda, yet I'm not really having any agendas against any player. But I tell you what, Zubimendi went ahead to hit that, and he really put it at the back of the net, meaning that Arsenal now having options of set pieces, meaning that sometimes Declan Rice will obviously deliver the ball, not here, but here, and it will find a well-placed Martin Zubimendi and really hit it with precision into the back of the net. Then look at how accurate he was, and it went ahead to cross the line. What a strike for Martin Zubimendi. I know this will compete for a goal of the week. That is it. I really believe it, that it will at a certain point X really go ahead to compete for the goal of the week in there for you, even goal of the month, because it has been quite good in there for you. After breaking the dreadlock in the 32nd minute, Arsenal went ahead to really finish the first half when they're really having a lead in there. Now, 1 minute into the second half, there was a ball that was really given to Eberechi Eze. And Eberechi Eze made a very good run, and he really went ahead to really release or really square that ball in the mouth of the goal. And you know, when you really put out a ball like that, obviously, what do you expect from a player known as Victor Gyokeres, who is really clinical at really doing his things? And he came in through and put in a very huge shift, and he put that ball into the back of the net, and that is Victor Gyokeres. He really put it in, into the best position that you'll want it. And I was like, the lad is really special. And this is what we've always gone ahead to tell people, that Eberechi Eze is better than Martinelli. And I think you've gone ahead to see it. Some people think that I really have an agenda on Martinelli, but I tell you what, the player in Eze is unselfish. And you saw to it that sometimes he was like, I'm shooting at goal, and sometimes it was like, I'm obviously going to be releasing my number 9. And at the beginning of the first half, you understand? Towards the end of the first half, you saw to it that he really went ahead to release that ball to the near post, and Victor Gyokeres had already gone ahead to make that run into that area, and it resulted into them getting a very beautiful chance in there for you. So I would like to let you know that a lot of things are really happening at Arsenal, and it's because they've gone ahead to bring in the right players. Now, look at this, look at this, when you look at that, look at this. Eberechi Eze is played in, he really runs well into the 18 yards box area, and he squares that ball to get into the space or the vicinity of Gyokeres, and Gyokeres goes ahead to obviously tap that ball past the goalkeeper, and it went into the back of the net. Now, that's exactly what we really wanted, and that's why we told you that Arsenal needed an Eberechi Eze, because he's really an unselfish player. And I tell you, if it's Martinelli in that area, he doesn't do that. Martinelli doesn't do that. You know what he does? He really makes things look hard, and he really delays his number 9. Then we obviously went ahead to obviously getting a third goal from, again, Martin Zubimendi. But before that goal came in through, again, Ebelechi Eze went ahead to obviously see to it that he really played well with the player known as Victor Gyokeres. And Victor Gyokeres went ahead to play in Noni Madueke. And when he played in Noni Madueke waited for him. And that patience saw this guy, Gyokeres, make a run. And when Gyokeres made a run towards the byline, he released him. And Gyokeres went ahead to obviously hit the woodwork. You understand? So Gyokeres is really learning to play with Noni Madueke and Ebelechi Eze. And I think with that combination, all with those patterns forming up, this team is obviously going to be more and more and more deadly. I tell you this. It's going to be more and more and more deadlier. If you know, you know. So that's how it came in through. But after all that happened, obviously, substitutions were made. Noni Madueke came off. Martinelli came on. Leandro Trossard came on. You understand? And when he came on, just 10 seconds into the game of football, this is what I've always told you, that Martinelli is really third fiddle when it comes to the left forwards of Arsenal. Even when the manager brought him on, he was like, please go ahead and really play as a right forward. Don't play as a left forward. And Leandro Trossard, he went ahead to obviously show the people that what Rokani talks about you is really right. 10 seconds in with an assist. You understand? He went ahead to go in for that ball, you know, up ball in there, and he put in a very teasing ball into the mixer. Look at Martin Zubimendi. This is where he is. And I tell you what, when Trossard was obviously going in for this ball, he was not targeting this guy. He was targeting this player. And I think it was Mikel Merino or Declan Rice, one of the two, that we are really making the runs. Or maybe was looking at Ethan Waneri, maybe to come in through and really meet that ball. But guess what? Zubimendi rose high in the sky and really headed that ball into the back of the net. And it Trossard in just 10 seconds of the pitch. He really provided an assist in there. And that's his impact. And that's why Arsenal were like, we cannot lose this precious player. And they really went ahead to obviously give him another contract at the club of Arsenal, something that was really great for the club of Arsenal, and I really loved it into the mix. So that's what Arsenal really went ahead to do in this particular fixture. And those are the 3 goals that really came in through, and it was really great for the club of Arsenal. Winning 3-0 comes in through with what? With a clean sheet. That means Arsenal have gone ahead to keep another clean sheet. And it's only one team that has gone ahead to score against Arsenal. And that team goes by the names of... Liverpool. And we all know that it came in from a free kick. It was not an open play goal that really came in through. So it shows you how Arsenal have gone ahead to elevate into this game of football. Very many players looked good, but there is one player I want to talk about. I've talked about Ebelechi Eze. I will elaborate more about them into what we call the match, the player ratings. But one other player that I think deserves a mention is Noni Madueke. Have you seen how Noni Madueke plays? You know, the way he waits for players like Julian Timber, and he really tries to squeeze, to chop on his outside, and then he creates space towards the byline. Gyokeres and Julian Timber have been beneficiaries of this. You understand? They've been beneficiaries of this. In the first half, he really did it to Gyokeres. I think, was it twice? Gyokeres went towards the byline and put in a cutback, but it was not all that successful on reaching an Arsenal player. But you saw to it that Noni Madueke was really doing something special. Then, the other player that you have to talk about is Julian Timber. He's going to benefit. And these are things that I think Arsenal fans have to really appreciate on Noni Madueke. You know, you never loved him when he came in through, but I tell you, he really has attributes that he gives you that Saka won't give you. And this is where no one is talking about Saka's absentia.
You understand? Because Noni Madueke represented to the fullest. And I think the more run-in of games he gets, the more he's obviously going to be more and more accurate. And his game product to his game is really going to be one of those that will unlock that defense of Arsenal and unlock defense of opponents in there. And I do believe we are still seeing a lot into this particular aspect of this beautiful game of football. Mosquera, oh my God. There is a slide in that he made, at the beginning of the second half, I think. A teasing cross was put in, and he really went ahead to slide and really swept that ball out of the danger zone. And I was like, this lad is really special. For Martin Zubimendi, you've seen it all. Does he need any further explanation? You guys have come out and said, Partey needed to stay here. Now look at Zubimendi. I told you Zubimendi is a modern player. When he's in the midfield, he'll play. When he's in the CDM, he'll play as a CDM. When he's in the midfield and is in the number 8 position, he'll give you the number 8 position. When he obviously reaches the 18 box area, he'll obviously look like a center forward. And you've seen it. You've seen how clinical he is. That header is really outstanding. And I tell you what, he's obviously going to be one of those that will really contribute to be the man of the match into my player ratings. They're obviously going to be coming in 2 hours from now. So let's get to what else that I haven't obviously gone ahead to break down. Let's go into the stats of the game and see how everything really panned out. But Arsenal is now having 3 wins out of the possible 4. And I think if they keep that run coming in through, all will be great. Victor Gyokeres has gone ahead to score his 3rd goal of the season in the Premier League. And in the midweek, they're winning the Champions League. Obviously, he'll obviously have to score more. Arsenal, 16 shots. Nottingham had 5 shots. That is it. 5 shots on target by Arsenal. I think Arsenal really lacked more. If you had 16 shots at goal, I think they needed 3 or 4 more on target. You understand? Nottingham had 1 shot on target, meaning that they were not really that clinical. They are really lacking. You understand? They are really very lacking. 55% ball possession by the side of Arsenal and 45% ball possession by the side of Nottingham. 474 passes completed by Arsenal. Then Nottingham had 403. 87% passing accuracy by Arsenal. 85% passing accuracy by Nottingham. 8 fouls by Arsenal. 10 fouls by Nottingham. 1 yellow card to the side of Arsenal and 1 yellow card to the side of Nottingham. Then 0 red cards to either sides, 2 offsides to Arsenal, 0 offsides to Nottingham, 8 corners to the side of Arsenal and 3 corners to the side of Nottingham Forest in there for you. So that is how everything really went ahead to happen. And let's get to the Premier League table and see how the table is really looking. Arsenal are back on top of the Premier League table. 4 games played, 3 wins, 0 draws, 1 loss, 9 goals scored, 1 goal conceded, goal difference of 8, and they're really having a goal difference of 9. Liverpool, 3 games played, 3 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses, 8 goals scored, 4 conceded, goal difference of 4, and they're really having 9 points. Chelsea, looks like if they come into action, they might obviously overtake a team known as Arsenal because they're having 3 games and they're having 7 points. Spurs, 3 games, 6 points. Everton, 3 games, 6 points. Sunderland, 3 games, 6 points. And that's how the teams are really looking like. Liverpool, when they come in and play and they really win against Burnley, obviously they'll come in through and do the needful and see themselves really taking on the mantle to really retain their top seat in there for you. So, as it stands, it's really good for a side known as Arsenal. And I think with their display, we've loved it. But you can talk about the injury of Martin Odegaard. And my question is, was he hurried back immediately? But you really understand that he went ahead to hit into the bottom foot of his fellow player who goes by names of Julian Timber, who was really fighting for that ball, because if that ball really went ahead to really get out of Arsenal's possession, it would have gone ahead to result into a deadly counter-attack. And Odegaard had obviously wanted to shoot, and obviously he hit into the bottom foot of Julian Timber, and Odegaard was really taken off. And Ethan Nwaneri came in through, and he really played very well. And I think I was waiting for that moment, meaning that it's now certified. The manager of Arsenal is saying Nwaneri as a 10, and he doesn't want even to try him outside as a right forward. He's leaving that for Max Dorman, Noni Madueke, and a player called Bukayo Saka. So your reactions to this are welcome in the comment section below. I sign out for now. See you later. That's my match reaction, and I don't know what your thoughts are. But I predicted 3-1. It has been 3-0. Clean sheet kept. David Raya also had some 2-3 saves. I think had one save to make in there. That's really one of the shots on target they were registered, meaning that Arsenal went ahead to defend very well, and you have to really give him that art, because in first 4 games they've only conceded 1 goal. That means that they are not obviously going to be conceding in goals. And by the way, in the previous seasons, Arsenal kept less clean sheets at home than those they kept away from home. And here they come to put in a very huge shift into this particular fixture, and they've gone ahead to keep a second clean sheet at home. And remember, they've only played 2 games at home. Against Leeds 5-0, Nottingham 3-0. And they wait in for the mighty Man City to come in through next weekend to see how everything will be tussled out at the Emirates Stadium. Rokani David signs out. Continue to subscribe because we want to hit 28,000 subscribers. And how do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner is the place to be. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing that, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time we upload a video onto this beautiful channel of ours. Bye bye. I'm returning with more news and information. We started off with the match day live.